Well, welcome to this first topic in humanity in the 21st century. This little video clip is just to orient you into how to use these topics and how to get the best out of them. Okay, before we start, just to revise what you would have heard before, hopefully by now you've all gone through the study guide for the Integrated Human Studies units, and preferably you've already looked at this video clip, Introduction to Humanity in the 21st Century, which really takes you through the entire course in a very brief way. Now though, we're going to move on to the first topic, being human in the 21st century. Okay, read the very little abstract at the beginning, and then the best thing to do is to click on to the topic guide, which is what we're recording now. Having done that, go to Notes and Resources and read those thoroughly, and then go and do any activities that you get from those activities, such as posting to these units, posting to the forum of that particular week. Let's now have a look at the Notes, Resources and Activities. Click on that, and you should have a screen something like this. First thing I generally do is enlarge it a little bit. Whoops, try again. Enlarge it a little bit. Where are we? That'll do. Okay. In the Notes, Resources, Activities, we provide some introductory notes to the topic, usually written by ourselves. Then we give you 3 or 4 selected resources from the web to look at, just like you might go to hearing a mini lecture. That's what those resources are. And then finally move on to activities, and that's where you'll be told what to do for the week or the topic. Now please, with the notes, they're not like lecture notes giving you a hard fact. They're really a guide to help you think, pose questions and explore. Now in this first topic, we're really looking at what does it mean to be human in the 21st century. Let's break that down a little bit. The big questions we want you to think about this week is, what does it mean to be human at all? What distinguishes us from other creatures? Very important question, fundamental. What does it and what will it mean to be human in the 21st century? And finally, how are we living, these 7 billion fellow humans, how are they living right now? And these questions will be developing throughout the unit, but what we would like you to do this week is just have a brief think about them, write a few paragraphs about them on a Word document, and next week we'll get you to post them into the beginning of your e-portfolio. We won't be doing e-portfolios this week. We'd rather get you oriented on all the rest. Now, let's think about how you should think about them. Well, top of head ideas. If I was to explore that first question, I might say, well, what distinguishes us? Our biology. We're fairly hairless. We stand on 2 legs. We have a very peculiar reproductive biology and reproductive behaviours. This is my particular research area, reproductive biology, so I'm absolutely fascinated with it. And we could talk and think a lot about those issues, but at this stage, let's keep it fairly light and easy. Other features that humans have, well, we have language, we're conscious, we have curiosity, and there's a whole set of little things there which pretty much distinguish humans from most other creatures. But the real issue is, what do you think, and what do you think right now? And does that thinking make you human? Okay, that's what we want you to focus on in this first topic. Then you'll get some notes on the resources that we recommend, and then finally you go to activities. We have 3 resources for you to look at. First one is global issues, social, political, economic, environmental issues. This one is absolutely excellent. We don't want you to read it entirely. Let's just click on it. It's written by one man, amazing character. Whoops, where is he? Anup Shah. This website is almost like a mini Wikipedia. It has so many issues in it and so many findings and stats and ideas that relate to this unit you're working on here. It is absolutely fantastic. I think it's pretty creditable. He certainly backs his ideas up, but you might come to your own opinion there. But we're very keen on this one, very keen indeed, and we'd like you to read particular parts of it. Let's just go back. Particular parts where are we? That you'll see in the activities, but as one you'll come back to many times. Next resource is a book by James Martin, The Meaning of the 21st Century, a fairly basic book that a lot of you might want to buy or get hold of from the library. Excellent book, a few years old now, but written by a really quite extraordinary person. Let's have a look. James Martin is a little bit like a Bill Gates. He made a fortune out of the computer industry. Very clever man, and he gave a lot of his money back to Oxford University to really think into the future. He's particularly worried about where our humanity is going, and he's written an excellent book to try and, I suppose, explain his ideas to us. So we'd like you this week to read chapter 1. That one there, just click on that and you'll get chapter 1. Read it through and you'll find we've got a few questions to ask you about that. Let's go back. And finally, James Martin has also made some films. I won't go into them here, but here's a little 10-minute film which is backing up his book. Well worthwhile viewing. A little bit light on. He's got the full film, which is excellent also. If you get the chance, have a look at it as well. But this brief one's not a bad starting point. Have a think about it, and again we're asking you to comment on it. So let's think about, having gone through those resources, what do we expect you to do? Well, this first week is really just getting oriented into the course. You've got lots of things to do. In the tutorial we'll bring those out further, but you'll also start doing some regular exercises like collaboration. And with the collaboration, what we would really like you to do this week particularly is to start posting to forums. And we've set up some forums, you'll see in a minute. There are 3 forum threads, all based on those initial readings, and we'd like you to post your own thoughts on each reading, about 250 words. Beyond that, we'd like you to start thinking about your e-portfolio and work on some paragraphs that we mentioned in the activities earlier on. Go to the topic notes and you'll see these again. Finally, if we get a chance during the tutorial, we'll discuss the collaborative group project. Now let's go back. This week particularly, one of your main activities is to post to the forums. Click on the forum, Being Human in the 21st Century, and you'll get a little bit of information at the front of what you should do next. I have set up 3 threads. Let's take this one, and if you click on that, you'll see a little paragraph where I talk about the book a little bit. Then I suggest that you post a thread about what you think about that chapter. And to do so, all you have to hit is reply, and you will get a little box coming up. Here is the subject. You can just type in there and fill in your comment. Okay? Not a problem. Alright, at this point I'll stop, go back to the main page of Humanity in the 21st Century, and leave it over to you to get moving on those topics. Thank you very much, and thanks for listening. Bye.